I'm Mike Griffith. I'm running for the at-large seat. I've lived in Arvada since 2014, so a little over 10 years. And one of the big reasons I'm running is the same reason why folks are tuning into this. Basically, I care about the future of my city. I care about the future that my kids are going to experience in Arvada. And a lot of the same challenges that folks at home are finding with the roads, with overdevelopment, with home prices, housing and homelessness, these are issues that I care about. And I think it's important that we elect leaders that understand the complexities that are involved. My background in transportation engineering and design and my time as chair on the Planning Commission are all relevant to tackling those issues.
What steps will you take to address the needs of the unhoused and the affordable housing crisis?
So let's talk about that in two steps. The first one is that we have to address the need for cold weather sheltering immediately. Right now, we have no real plan in place. We have some ideas about vouchers and some agreements that are starting to gel, but we need to figure out what we're going to do for this winter so that folks aren't left freezing in the cold. That's a humanitarian crisis that I think has a city-scaled solution where we can keep people from suffering. That's got to be done. The other side of it is affordability, and I think one of the biggest issues that we have, if you talk to any developer that's doing business in Arvada, they'll tell you that it costs about $200,000 before you even build anything, just in permitting costs and water tap fees and impact fees. So I'd like to work with city staff to look at opportunities to create a sliding scale so that it might be cheaper to build smaller, more affordable housing products in neighborhoods where it wouldn't be out of character, but it would actually be within scale and size. So affordability and also humanitarian efforts, I think, are needed at the city scale to address these issues.
What policies would you support to reduce traffic congestion and promote effective growth management in Arvada?
This is a perfect question because traffic and growth and housing are all interconnected. I don't know if most of the voters know this, but about 80% of our residents leave every day to go work somewhere else. And most of the folks that are working in the city, around 80%, almost the same number, are coming in from elsewhere. They're coming in from Aurora, they're coming in from Lakewood and Golden and Boulder. And so we almost swap population every single day. And we do that because we don't have the high-paying jobs that you would need to afford the average price of $650,000 per home in Arvada. So we don't have those high-paying jobs here, so you have to go work elsewhere if you live here. However, if you work in Arvada, you don't make enough to buy a house here. So we're swapping positions. So these two issues of housing and traffic and infrastructure are directly related. If we had more attainable housing options in the city, then folks that worked here could actually live here. And then there wouldn't be this mad dash to get in and out of the city every day in the morning and in the evening, and our roads wouldn't be as worn down, and we wouldn't have as much traffic. So housing's a big part of it, but the second piece that's absolutely critical is that we look at our signal timing. Currently, all of our traffic lights are timed individually. I have a plan in place, and I did this in my professional career for quite a while, and I set up a plan for the city to signalize regionally so that we get better efficiencies across the city, and that will be about 30% more efficient after it's implemented.
What specific actions will you take to enhance transparency and build public trust in city council decisions?
This is also very important. And a wise person once told me that whether or not you take an interest in your government is taking an interest in you. And what that means is that things are going to happen with or without your participation in council meetings and other venues that affect city decisions. So I'd encourage everyone watching this to please bring your friends, come to city council meetings, voice your opinion. One of the things that I would do to affect transparency specifically is I would push staff to try and get our packets out earlier. Not only for the benefit of council members, but for the benefit of the public, so there's more time to review the dense content that we often see. As a planning commissioner, I've chaired the planning commission now for many years. I've been on for about 9. We get the same packets that council gets and make recommendations ahead of time. And I can tell you it's very difficult to sit down with a 500-page document and try and make sense of it just a couple days before the meeting. So I think the public would appreciate more time there. And the other thing that I think would be absolutely critical is to keep a timeline of comments attached to any project that's currently available on the city website. So that means right now you can look at any project that's up for review on the city website for a permit. And I think we should add a portal so the public is able to comment on those individual projects and track that information. Those two things I think would go a long way to build trust with the public. In closing, I would just like to leave this with the folks watching. This is game time. A lot of politicians will tell you this is an election that's important and everything comes down to this moment, but it truly does here in Arvada. we have about 125,000 residents. And our build out and our carrying capacity with water and land resources is about 140,000 residents. Do the math on that. It's not a lot left to build. Currently, our housing doesn't match our jobs, and that creates in and out issues all over the city with transportation and affordability. These issues can be solved with the updated comprehensive plan, which we are initiating right now as a city. It's a 2-year process, heavily impacted by our leaders on city council. So I'm telling you, this is game time. We need leaders that are going to advocate for you and all your community needs. So please visit my website, michaelforarvada.com. Give me a call anytime, read some of the testimonials, check out some of my insights. I have a Now You Know Arvada page with all sorts of interesting data, and I look forward to earning your vote on November 4th. Thank you.